All right. Oh no. Hey everybody, it's your old pal Wood Doofus here. You know, the other day I got a text message from a friend of mine from work who just happens to have a really big, like, jack-o'-lantern style head. And he sent me a picture of something that he probably pulled off of Etsy that looked a lot like this and said, hey, can you make this for my wife? I said, yeah, I can probably do that. When do you need it by? And he says, well, as soon as you can get it. So I said, give me about 2 weeks and somewhere in there I'll have it done. Well, it turns out I looked at Facebook just like the next day and he's like, hey, happy birthday to my wife. So I'm like, well, you don't have the gift yet, so maybe you took too long with your big giant pumpkin head. So anyway, in this video, we're gonna make this Mug Cubby whole cabinet thing for Mr. Pumpkinhead's wife. And happy birthday to you. I'm sorry Pumpkinhead didn't think about this sooner. Since this project is going to end up with a rustic look, I'm going to use this reclaimed material that I got a while ago, pretty cheap, and it's going to work out pretty good. I'm going to need 12 pieces of this 1x4, and 10 of those pieces are going to be 28 inches long, which is roughly the diameter of this guy's really big pumpkin head. I raised my table saw blade to half the height of this board. Since this is a 1x4, it's roughly 3.5 inches wide, which means I need to raise the blade about 1.75 inches. But I just made a mark on the board and raised the blade to the mark. I took my miter gauge here and I basically attached the board through the little available screw holes, and that's going to give me some material to push the boards through the blade with. Since each piece is 28 inches long, that leaves me 5 sections that are 5 inches wide to make the 5-inch square cubbies, and 4 sections that are 3/4 inch to have the cross sections of the material in there. On my cut pieces, I marked the lines of the material that needs to be removed. I marked it on this edge too. And I have some marks on my miter gauge board, and basically I want to line the first cut up with my number 1, which you probably can't see, and then my second cut up I line up with my number 2 line and then push it through, and that is my plan. It's very important that we never put our fingers anywhere near this cut right here, because then you won't have any fingers. If you don't have any fingers, it's almost as bad as having a giant head. I mean, it's basically as if the Headless Horseman had the body of a Build-A-Bear. Alright, so this is what it looks like, and some people might think you just need to keep cutting and cut all this material up with the table saw, but I don't want to do that. I just want to take it and flick it like that, smack it right into the camera, hit yourself in the lip, it doesn't matter. Just flick those bad boys off of there. Poing! This is amazing. Ooh, I could do this. I could do this all day. Just like Captain America. Ow! It really hurts if you scratch your thumb. Ugh, come on. Get. Oh! You should probably wear gloves if you're gonna do this. Ah! Oh, my thumb is numb now. Anyway, these should fit together. They don't. You should fit together. There, see? Just like that. You might have to come and take a chisel if you got any excess material from flipping them like a weirdo. Like that one, look at that one. I gotta take that material off with a chisel or something. All right, so now's the fun part where we get to piece it all together and make sure it works. So we're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4 going this way, and then 4. Now you may have noticed that some of these were a little sticky getting them together, but it's all right. I got them together eventually, and it's not as bad as getting a big giant head into the neck hole of a sweater or something like that. So here are 2 more pieces that are 28 inches, and then I need the last 2 to add 1.5 inches. So I got 2 more pieces that are 29.5 inches, and they will be the end caps. So now we're ready to burn all this up. Well, the worst part of the whole process is this part, and that's scraping the char off of everything. All I can say is that that big old pumpkin head joker better appreciate what I do for him, because this sucks. So I got a little bit of this dark walnut stain here. Hopefully it's going to be enough. I'm just going to stain up all of these pieces. All right. Oh no. All right, so last night I did a couple of things. After the stain had dried, I went back with some sandpaper and sanded the edges and the surfaces a little bit to try and create a more distressed look, or a little hint of distressed look anyway. And it looks pretty good. You see some lightness on the corner there. After I got that distressed look, I put one coat of water-based polyurethane on the whole thing. So now I think I'm gonna put it all together and pin it together with some nails and put one more coat of polyurethane, and then I need to figure out how to attach a backing to this. I'm gonna use some of this Star Bond super glue type stuff, because I don't know if the wood glue would make a good connection with all the stain and polyurethane, so we'll see if this does anything. There's a good start. I have these pine, like wainscoting pieces from some other project left over, so I think I'm gonna use those for the backing. So all I gotta do is cut these down to the 29.5 inches and then stain them up on one side, pin them on there, and we're ready to rock and roll. So I put some black stain on the backer board as well as one coat of polyurethane. So I need to let this dry, and while it dries, I'm gonna go clean myself up for the day. All right, so here it is. Your very own mug caddy holds 25 mugs. I don't know who has that many mugs. It's also roughly the size of the melon that sits on top of this guy's neck. So you can make this thing in any configuration you want to fit any space that you have in the kitchen and hold as many mugs as you think you need to hold. That'll wrap it up for this video, but as always, don't be afraid to be a doofus. So if you don't mind, it's New Year's Eve, so I'm gonna go cut this white beard off and get a new youthful look for the new year. Bye.